Hey fam, welcome to Driven Life TV. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe to this channel. Just hit the like button. I really appreciate the support. When you like the video, it really gets to so many other people who have never seen this channel before. So your subscription and your likes are very important for getting out these messages to many people. Thank you so much. Now, today I want to talk about how to increase your chances as a single person. How do you get yourself to a place where you can you can increase your chances of getting a partner? Okay. Now, before I talk about that, I want us to address a perspective that is very important. I want us to have a certain mindset as we approach the points that I have for us today. Now, the first thing that I want you to understand is that there is nothing wrong with singleness. Actually, singleness is a very important season. It's a season that you have to give utmost respect to. You have to really understand that you have a chance here. You have an opportunity to utilize your time for the things that are personal to you. Okay, you have to build yourself up in this season. You have to allow yourself to grow to a place where you need to be. This is a season where you train yourself in obeying God. This is a season where you train and grow yourself spiritually to reach a point where you can say, I'm maturing right now. Okay. I know that not all of us are going through the single season the same way. There are some of us when we are going through our single season, we're literally having so many responsibilities because we have so many relatives that we have to attend to, so many family members that we have to take care of. And so it's not really single in terms of you singularly thinking about yourself. But even in that time, before you find a spouse, before you find a partner, you can literally utilize this season to grow yourself, to make yourself better, to really invest in the things that you are singularly passionate about. Because to be honest, when you start a relationship and you get into marriage, it's just a totally different ball game because so many things come into play. And so this season is very important. Before you add on to your life another responsibility, why don't you take time to build foundations? Why don't you take time to strengthen what needs strengthening? This is why singleness is so important. You can get to know God in this season in a way that you will never have the freedom to again. Okay, so it's very important. Now, the other thing that I want you to understand is that singleness is not a season of waiting. It's actually a season of living and walking in obedience. It's a season of living. It's a season of walking in obedience. It's not necessarily a season of waiting. Okay, so this is why it becomes important for you to not look at singleness as a season of idleness. It's not. You have to look at this as a season where you have to learn to live properly. You have to learn to obey God. This is a season where you have to build certain things. You have to have goals for yourself and literally learn how to achieve them. So it's a very important season. Now, let's talk about how you can increase your chances as a single person in finding a partner. The reason why I shared the perspective at the beginning was to establish the fact that not all of us, okay, will find a partner at the same times, in the same seasons, or maybe in the same duration of time or passage of time. You must understand that not all of us also want to get married, okay? But I'm talking to the ones who have the desire to get married. If you have the desire to get married, you have to utilize your single season in a very different way. You have to build yourself up and lay down foundations with marriage in mind, okay? So for those who desire to get married, I want you to understand that you serve a God who is faithful to meet you at your point of desire. There is no way God could put that desire in you and not really grant you the fulfillment of that desire. So it's my prayer for you, even as we begin this video, that God would literally meet you at a place of desire. It's very important. Okay, so let's talk about how to increase your chances. Number one, you have to develop a good personality. Personality is everything because most of the times people meet your personality before they know your character. So it's so important that you have a good personality. Sometimes what stands out to people is the impressions you make in the first meetings with them. So you have to have a good personality. Someone may say, my personality is my personality. How can I change that? I'm telling you, you can work on it. You can become more friendly. You can become more warm and hospitable as a person. You can learn to be less aggressive and more accommodative. And those are things that you can work on, traits about yourself that can make you more dateable. Are you hearing me? The second thing is that you have to get in shape physically. Getting in shape physically doesn't mean you need to lose all the weight that you have, or maybe you get thin, or because both extremes are bad. You can be too thin for your own good or too overweight as well. So it's really important that you are healthy and fit. You have to be healthy and fit because it shows. You have to understand that how you look also matters. So you have to really work on your health as a person. So get in shape, meaning stay fit, stay healthy, take care of yourself. If you're gaining too much weight, work to reduce it a bit. If you're losing too much weight, please gain a bit. It also helps. All of it is important. Number 3, pray about it. Pray about the season that is coming. You can't just leave these things to chance. You have to pray about the future partner, about your marriage, about your children, all those things. Sometimes I've seen people take this to the extreme, meaning they become so obsessed with marriage that they feel like their single season is prison. And sometimes you see them, they're just living in sadness and in like, my life is not working just because I've not found a partner. Even that is not a good posture to have. You must understand that you can be praying for this, but don't be obsessed with it. Allow God to help you walk through your journey. Are you hearing me? So pray about it. It's very important. Allow God to get involved. Now, number 4, you have to be approachable or maybe have the courage to approach. That means as a man, you have to have the courage to approach. If you're a woman, be approachable. I've seen so many people. I think this is also tied to personality, where you find a person, people are scared to approach her. Maybe you find a person who is so timid to even approach a lady as well. You have to have the courage to approach. You have to be approachable as a person. That's why you have to be warm and hospitable. Have a personality that allows you to do that. Okay. Next up is that you have to have realistic standards. Have realistic standards. I know you desire something good, but you have to have realistic standards. Sometimes the person you meet now is not the same person you'll meet 15 years to come. Okay, people change, people transform, people grow, people become better, and this is why your standards have to be anchored in reality. You have to look at the person that is approaching you and say, God, what points to what they're gonna become? Okay, you have to really have priority traits that you need, but don't have a list that goes on and on to infinity that a person cannot even meet. You have to be a person who's realistic. Sometimes some of the things we're demanding of people, they're not really going to have. Okay, I've seen people say, I want to date someone who is making about 500,000 kwacha. And you find a person is 25, 26 years of age. You're like, at that point, a man should have it figured out. But really, it doesn't really work like that. Most men have it figured out in their early 30s or maybe late 30s. So you have to really, really be realistic. Know a person based on their patterns and habits and their vision. Okay, those things are good pointers as to what they're going to become in a few years to come. Okay, so that's why you have to look at these things. Don't have unrealistic standards. I think today I posted something that said that I think I've seen too many people who have standards like, I want someone who is tall when they are when the person who they are dating is short. I'm like, so what are you doing with them? Okay, I want someone with a big behind when you know that that person you're dating does not have a big behind. So what do you want them to do? Okay, do you want them to go back into their mother's womb and recreate themselves? It doesn't work like that. You have to have standards that are realistic for your own situation. Okay, so if you want someone who was shaped a certain way, okay, fine and good. Just make sure you have things that are realistic that you're not willing to compromise on, and make sure you're willing to compromise on things that are unrealistic. Okay, if this is not there but this is there, are you going to prioritize what matters more? So that's what I want you to think about. Okay, Next up is seek the mentorship of older women. That is for females. Make sure you seek the mentorship of older, godly women who are married and happily married for that matter. Seek the mentorship of those women. That's what the Bible encourages women in First Timothy, that you have to do that. Okay, it's very important. Next up is focus on walking with God and obeying Him. That's why singleness is very important. As you look forward to being in a relationship, focus on obeying God and walking with Him. That's what matters at the end of the day. Okay, so it's very important that you do that. Next up is have good friendships. Have good friends that have a good reputation. I can tell you right now that I've seen so many people get a partner just because they had good friends. You understand? Because people have seen the type of friends they have. They're like, if this person has that friend, it means they also share certain character traits. And you've seen people just get people interested just because of the company that they keep. So sometimes even the friends you have speaks a lot about you. So you have to be intentional about the type of people you keep around yourself. Okay, have good friends. I'm telling you, it can increase your chances. All right. The other thing is you have to discover and walk in purpose. This is what we're talking about. Have a foundation. Put in place things that are important. Have a direction for your life. Make sure you know purpose. Purpose will also help you discern the type of person you need in your life. So if you know where you're going, you know who you're supposed to walk with. The Bible says in Amos 3 verse 3 that two cannot walk together unless they agree. It's very important that you know where you're going, know your purpose, know your identity, know what you're about. That is very important. The other thing is guard your purity. You have to understand that in the area of relationships, your purity is a very big component. If you keep yourself pure, you save yourself for marriage, it makes you, it increases as well your, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but it increases your value as well to potential partners, because they know that you're a person who has kept themselves for a particular person, and they want to be the ones to sort of be the ones to be joined to you because you saved yourself for them. So in both ways, as a woman, as a man, make sure you walk in purity. That also is very valuable in the dating journey. The other thing is focus on dating people you know. I think the reason why I'm saying this is because I've seen so many people ignore their friends. I don't know. They always want to date strangers. I don't know what it is about strangers. I've seen people do this a lot, where if they want a partner, they ignore all their friends and they're looking at strangers. Like they just want to meet someone from somewhere. They can date someone online and not really someone who is an acquaintance. All I'm saying is sometimes you have to pay attention to the people who are closest to you. You never know. That's where your partner may be, So focus on dating people you know. I don't know how many times I don't know why some people want to date strangers. Like, I can't date someone who knows me. I'm like, I don't get that logic. So make sure you focus on dating people you know. Okay. Find a dating partner in the proximity, in the vicinity, people that you know. Look at them and say, can this person be a potential partner? Pray about it and see where that goes. The final thing is that I can share with you is that make sure you're feminine if you're a female and be masculine if you're a man. Be feminine, be masculine. It's very important because most of the times people lose sight of these things. Okay, understand what femininity is, understand what masculinity is, and make sure as a man you learn what true manhood is all about. As a female, learn what true womanhood is all about, and learn these things. I remember I was sharing somewhere, and I was telling them that, on the same topic of dating, I was telling them that most of the times as young people, we're looking for a dating partner, but when we ask ourselves to say, what makes a man husband material and what makes a woman wife material? And most of the times what you will see is that young women are not really working to become wife materials. Yes, they are working to get married, but they're not working to become wife material. They don't know what a wife is. They don't even know what a husband is as a young man, as young men. And so it becomes a problem because nobody's really knowing what makes them valuable. Okay, because in our time right now, it's becoming rare to actually see a woman who is feminine, to actually see a man who understands what being a husband, being a man is. Okay, that's why if you want to make yourself rare, make sure you work on these things and you will really increase your chances. Understand that if God is at the center of your life, it's my prayer that you trust Him, that you walk with Him, knowing that He is there to go before you to make all your paths straight. Trust me, God is able to grant you what you desire. So these are the things that I've shared with you. I hope these are helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Truly appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good one.